Hey guys, and welcome back to the Trihard workshop. This week, Q's constructing the second chamber in our 6-part modular Killteam board, with variation in wall structures, built-up floor elements to break movement dynamics, and another freestanding terrain feature, perfect as an objective or cover. It's all go at the workshop, and we have loads of stuff in the pipeline, including our own custom sculpted kill teams. So if you want to support the channel, fire us a sub, and with that, let's get into the build.
Same as last time, base it with PVA glue, cardboard and barbecue skewers just to hold it down flat, marking out lines so that your paths continue. Scrim tape again, workhorse here, doing great. Try and get it in as straight a line as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Steel bonding again, or iron bonding, keeping the symmetry on from the first one to this one, trying to keep it consistent throughout all of them. Obviously with scrap materials, it's not always easy to get them lining up, but you just work with what you can. Bit of filing on the edge end once again to make them so they don't look like wood. Couple of circles out of cardstock, rectangles and squares and all those things. Greeble again on the floor because it's flat, doesn't disturb the models. Fill out the gaps, just random shapes here and there. Straighten some of these up as best you can, you know.
Continuing our winning format, I'll be splitting the voiceover with Q today. I want to talk a little bit about Killteam. Its first iteration was a fun game with a decent set of rules. It flowed well, but felt like a pared down 40k game. Now we're on Killteam 2.0, and it really feels like Games Workshop put time and effort into it. It now has a dedicated rules system, and the thing we love about it most is the narrative potential. Narrative play is one of our main focuses, and 2.0 has not disappointed. With every terrain feature, we're asking ourselves, could this reactor give rerolls to heavy weapons? Can this conveyor belt increase movement? Or periodically spawn supplies onto the board? That's something you should be thinking about when you're constructing your own board. Speaking of terrain, let's bounce over to Q and see how he's getting on in our second modular chamber.
Here's it lined up with the first board to just make sure the alignment's right. It's not 100%. Here's now Yakult container and then a plumbing fitting like a washer, threads on the inside of it and a juice lid. Just play about with these to find something interesting like a tank of some description to fill it out. This is off a Peppa Pig swing. It's a bit of glue on top of it. It's this nice cylinder looking shape.
Beyond the cut and dry distribution of terrain based on line of sight or objective placement, think about the ways the story can emerge from the board. Recently, we released our first Killteam objective video, the Servitor console. Initially, it was intended as a hard win condition. Getting to the Servitor triggered a factory door opening, leading to the main army contingents flooding the site and taking over. But after that game, what next?
It's some of the wire. This time I just done a big long strip of the wire on the tape, bend it the way I want, and then cut it free from it. It's a million times quicker. Once you got it roughly where you want all your bits, get them glued down into position.
Could this console switch on automatic gun points? Activate a plasma bomb trap? Does it awaken some Mechanicus horror from the bowels of the battlefield that wanders randomly, destroying anything that comes in its way? It could be anything, and that's the power of the new Killteam. It has storytelling potential baked into the rules and terrain. Speaking of terrain, let's bounce over to Q.
Here's the new technique we were talking about in the last video. Just slide them straight off and on to where you want them, and then you can seal them in place with a piece of PVA glue. Stops all that messing about. Seal them all in place. Just some of that garden wire again. Play about with it, make it a bit more interesting. Bit of hot glue here to keep it in place. Once you've got a bit of extra wire on there, a bit of phone cable, a bit more interesting looking. It's giving you different levels of texture. And then a bit more wire here, playing about with it. Wee bit from a fruit shoot glued onto the top. There was some writing on the top of it that I wanted to hide. Glued it onto a piece of card here, and put rivets around it, so it's as if it was like bolted to the floor. Bit of PVA glue again to seal them in place. So the panel, this is to fill the gap. The panels are not long enough, so fill in the corner here, make a few angle iron bits, make yourself a wee frame and a wee cross section across it. Actually, you don't have enough mesh, so I just done this instead, and then the last bit of mesh I had used on the other one. You'll see in a moment. A bit of glue, keep it all in place. That's going up in that corner, along with the wee one made out of mesh. Just seeing what side lines up better, because they're thrown together and not all entirely square. A few rivets to help the scale, make it a bit more interesting. Just cutting these to length to make the frame for the one with the mesh on it to fill the gap out in the corner. Just change it up as well a bit so it's not getting too mundane with them other walls as well, you know. There's a bad twist in that. Once you've spent probably far too much time farting about with coffee stores, get this piece of mesh cut to the length you need it, the dimensions you need it, glue them into place. Once you get them glued into the corner, try and get them as level as you can. Spread all black. Same again here with this painting technique, watered down, and then go over it again with a thicker one. You can paint these any way you want, there's no real set way. This is just the way I imagined it. I mean, you can dry brush them with chrome, you could even do the whole thing chrome. But I've never really been much of a painter. And just try to keep it simple, stupid. Bit of this orange wash again. It looks extreme in the beginning, but it dries out to nearly nothing. But it actually doesn't pick up on the camera too well, but it does definitely make a difference. You know, you've got like 3 layers of colour tones there. The watered out sienna, the solid sienna, and this orange wash kind of mixes together quite nice. And obviously the black fading through. A few wee splashes there helps. And then just around the seams of things, you think water would catch and gather over time, and then bits rust out the most. Is it all dry? Looks like you've done nothing. And then some of these panels seen from the first one and in the video before, and these are just glue these in place to fill out the gaps, and then touch up any of the bits of glue that managed to escape the edges. You can see here these wee bits of glue poking through. Just give them a wee dab so that they don't catch the light. This was a short one. Just giving a few extra touch-ups here. Blend it all in, there you go. Extremely fast. And it's an ROE room, a few wee details. Hope you enjoyed that. The next one's going to be a bigger build, and if you enjoyed that, or give us a wee like and sub. Tune in for the next one, it's going to be multiple level. Cheers.
Cheers, Q. With our second chamber complete, you can see the game board is coming together nicely. If you want to follow Q's process finishing the board, consider giving us a sub. We appreciate every single one. That's everything from us this week, and until next time, try hard.
Workshop Confessions with Q. Let's go.
I was never.